Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I want to give a brief explanation of how and why we use resilient channel. So firstly, most of our jobs are residential and it calls for 1/2-inch drywall, but the trusses are installed on 24-inch centers. And if you install 1/2-inch drywall on trusses on 24-inch centers, it will be wavy. So we're going to need some sort of a strapping anyways. So we could use wood, but I'm going to explain why we choose resilient channel. So one major factor that plays into us using resilient channel is the climate that we have here. We're in Northern Ontario in Canada, and our summers are very hot, humid, sticky, wet a lot of the time. So the houses are being built in these conditions, and then a couple months later it could be freezing with snow on the ground. And wood reacts to that. It's going to shrink, warp, twist, move. So attaching wood strapping to wood is basically defeating the purpose. If the trusses move, the house moves, it's going to move with it. So that's a major reason we use resilient, and I'll explain why that helps in that scenario. So the original purpose of resilient channel was to be used as a sound bar, but because of its design, it's become the go-to for strapping around these parts anyways. So how we use it, we install it on 16-inch centers, which allows us to do our 1/2-inch drywall. And because of its design, you fasten the flange on the one side, and the resilient, the other side, essentially floats. So when you attach your drywall to it, if there's any framing irregularities or trusses are a little uneven, the drywall will pull down and give you a nice, smooth, flat ceiling. And then for the real reason we use it, for truss uplift. So how that works, what we do, we run it into the interior walls, where usually that's where your issue is going to be. We fasten it to a piece of drywall angle. So the last place the resilient is screwed to the actual truss is all the way back here. This is floating here. So because of that, this can go up and down. So what we do is we fasten our ceiling sheet right to here. Our wall gets butted up to it. We find the spot it needs to sit, and then the wall gets screwed into here. So if this truss chooses to lift, the ceiling remains fastened right here, so it won't go up if the trusses choose to go up, which means no truss uplift, no cracks, and no callbacks. So that's the main reason we use resilient channel.